interested and you guys like the format of the meeting, please feel free to grab a membership application from our VP of Membership, Kathy. She's right in front of you, and sign up for a membership. And if you guys want to just come back again and observe as a guest, you guys are also welcome to do so. And at the end of the meeting, we will actually ask for guest feedback right before we try to set the logistics for the next meeting. And just for your information, this club is actually pretty new. We have a sister club similar to this at Silicon Valley. So this is actually only our 5th meeting. Okay, so let's welcome the Toastmaster for tonight, Arthur, for the English session. So Arthur is the Toastmaster for the English session, and I'm the Toastmaster for the Chinese session.
Yes, 大家好，我们这个 Toastmaster 是双语的 Toastmaster， 一半是中文，一半是英文。我们先由英文的演讲员演讲，然后之后再到中文的演讲员。所以 Tiffany 是我们的英文 Toastmaster。
So hi everyone. So as the Toastmaster, in case you guys don't know what the Toastmaster does, Toastmaster is more like the master of ceremony. I'll be introducing all of the speaker and the roles for tonight. So the speaker for tonight for English session is David. David, this is his first speech, icebreaker speech, and the time limit for the icebreaker speech is 4 to 6 minutes. And if you don't mind, can you just stand up and let us know the title of the speech?
My speech for tonight will be, can an introvert be a good public speaker?
今天我们的中文的演讲员是 Kathy。
我今天的题目是维持良好的伙伴关系，20日快乐。
好，那我们先
Yeah, so let's introduce David to come up and give the speech.
Who's the timekeeper?
And the timekeeper is Mashika. So the time allowed for your speech is 4 to 6 minutes. When 4 minutes is up, Mashika is going to raise her hand and say 4 minutes. When it's 5 minutes, she will say 5, and when it's 6 minutes, it's 6. And when you're over time, we'll try to raise up that. Okay, sure.
Evaluation sheet, do you have any more? Evaluation sheet.
Who's evaluation?
I have some flags if you want flags. Timing cards?
Yeah.
I hope. No tech.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Green at 4, 5, 6.
So David, you can get started. So I think we're good. Yep. Thanks.
We'll be sure David knows the flag colors.
Oh yeah, so
Explain again.
4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, welcome. My speech tonight is my first one, and the first speech is supposed to talk about yourself, just to get ready to know a bit better. And like Arthur's first speech, this speech is as much for myself as for everybody else. It's to encourage everybody to actually come out and talk, and to use examples, so help myself get through this speech as well. So my speech topic is, can an introvert be a good public speaker? When we mention the name public speaker, who comes to mind? Bill Gates, Oprah, Tony Robbins. These are very kind of outspoken personality. And sometimes you think that you have to be this kind of person in order to be a good public speaker. So when you think of the introvert, what words come to mind for those? Shy, timid, loner. Sometimes those things are not what you expect in a good public speaker. But that's what I'm going to tell tonight, which I think that would be wrong. A little bit about myself. Believe it or not, when I was born in China, and when I was young, I was actually a very extroverted kid. From time to time, I could be the class clown, I tried to be a class president, unsuccessfully, but I tried. And sometimes I could even be the class bully. And around the age of 12, I moved to the US. At that time, I don't speak any English. So what we have is a new environment, new schools, new friends, and all of a sudden I have nobody to talk to. So over time, I've become more and more used to by myself, and I started talking less and less. And gradually, I actually enjoy thinking to myself. Enjoy this process of being alone. And actually got to the point when first time I went back and visited my relatives and all my cousins, which was a ton of them, they would really say, wow, you changed. And to me, that was fine. So, and then you can grow up and you come to where in high school and in college you have to make a presentation. People are always thinking that you don't talk that much. But to me, I think that's actually an advantage. So, when I look up on the internet what makes a good public speaker, the things that come up say you have to be thoughtful, you have to be charismatic, and you have to be kind of engaging. None of those applies to introvert or extrovert. In fact, some of the best speakers that you think about, maybe the ones that you actually don't think about, are extrovert. For example, Bill Gates. He might not be the best person out there, but Bill Gates has what you call extremely introverted personality. He actually dedicates at least 2 weeks of his life to go out and think for himself, with no other people, no distractions. And the definition of an introvert is they actually get exhausted when they're being around people too much. They need people time to think for themselves. So the advantage of that is you're prepared before you actually speak. And as long as you know what you're talking about and you're sure with your purpose, you will willing to go out there and present. So the other person I'd like to talk about is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is one of the best investors in the world. And he spends majority of the time by himself, alone, in his office, reading. That's what he likes to do. But when he get on TV, when he goes to a public event, he can speak like no other. And sometimes even harder to get him to speak because he is thoughtful. He knows what he's talking about. And he's actually interested in what he has to talk about. So I think for many of us, maybe being in Asian descent, maybe being the way that's saying, brought up to the notion that if you don't have something nice to talk about, don't say anything at all. Or nobody will think you are a fool until you open your mouth. And when you do, you eliminate all doubt. So that kind of thinking will sometimes prevent you from go up there and try it and talk. But I encourage everybody to come up to actually speak, regardless who you think you are, regardless what image can be out there. Because if you don't try, you never really know. And if you really want other reasons, another introvert that's great history in our great importance in the history is somebody like Gandhi, somebody like Mother Teresa. That's very soft-spoken. That's very like extrovert, like you have to be out there and talk to everybody. But they're very effective as well, and they're very powerful when they do speak. So that's my goal, is to help encourage more people to come up here and to have fun. And I'm supposed to answer.
好，很谢谢很谢谢 David 的演讲。我们现在开始到中文的
常常都会给对方一些惊喜。我还记得有一次他生日的时候，我告诉他我没办法跟他庆祝，直到晚上。可是我偷偷去买了一个蛋糕和一些礼物给他，还有叫他的朋友，叫他带着家里等我。然后我很惊喜的跑出来，在他的家里跟他庆祝。他看见我的时候很惊喜，很开心。到了2003年2月，我们结婚。一开始结婚的时候，我们常常都会吵架，因为心上一些习惯都不相同。我常常都会骂他，为什么你不会洗碗？但是为什么我洗碗？我不喜欢洗碗。可是我每一天晚上都煮晚饭，你应该帮忙一下。都后来他也帮忙一下洗碗，可是每一次他都会洗了一两个碗子，就去看电视，去用他电脑和上网看一些资料。到了第一天的早上，我也会看见他的碗的在盘上还没有洗，我常常都会骂他，为什么你没有这么手美，不把那个碗的马上给洗好？他说这是我的习惯，我没办法改，所以我认了他说好，没办法，每个人都有自己的好处，还有缺点。直到2009年，我们有了一个女孩，头6个多月，大家都没有睡到一个好觉。有一天晚上，我很生气，因为我的女儿没有好好的去晚餐。我叫我的丈夫会弄一个奶瓶来给她吃，可是他拿了一个造的奶瓶，我和一个造的水在那个奶瓶下，我给我的女儿吃，她没有吃，我不知道为什么她没有吃。我问她说我不知道，然后我才发现奶瓶里的奶不是奶，是水。我很生气，骂了她一个晚上。过了那天晚上，她从没有弄那个奶瓶。她说我很害怕我会做那个错误。后来我最近我看到一个杂志说，如果你没有一个良好的关系跟你的丈夫伴侣，你的小孩子你自己都不会快乐。所以我想一想，为了我的女儿，为了我们的关系，我决定要好好想一些方法去改变我们的关系，维持良好的关系。我想一定会令我们的家庭很快乐。谢谢。
Thank you, Kathy, for her speech. So we actually have another English speaker, and the speaker is native speaker, Tony.
Who's my evaluator?
I'll be an evaluator.
Roberto would mind? Sure. Let me get to it, because you're more busy.
Sure. So let me give you an introduction of Tony. Tony has been a Toastmaster since June 2001. So it's actually almost 11 years ago. So I'm sure that he has a lot of experiences in Toastmaster, and
tonight my topic is how to be a great host. The role I like best in the Toastmaster meeting is the role of the Toastmaster. That means you are organizing the meeting. You are helping motivate others to take roles. You're the host. You're the MC of this show. So I invite you to be inspired to try this role because it's a role of creativity. I'm a chemist by trade. Not a very exciting job, at least for me it is. But Toastmasters for me is an outlet to try out some of my creativity. So what's in it for being a Toastmaster? You could be a timer, you can give out the word of the day. But by being a Toastmaster, it's a chance to bring out your creative self. Here are some things you will learn as Toastmaster. Planning and implementation skills, organization, delegation, time management, motivational skills, and the ability to make a decision. Because at the end, when the agenda is final, you've made a decision, but then again, you're going to learn that not everything is set in stone. So you're going to learn how to adjust the changes. It's a great leadership skill to have. How many times have you been at work and you had your day planned, only to have it turned around by your boss? I've had my boss say, I have another meeting to go to, Tony. Here's the material, go ahead and present it. It does happen in real life. So being prepared to do that is a great skill. So I have 3 rules. First rule is watch your time. Number 2, give it the personal touch. 3, lead the applause. So let me elaborate a little bit more. For example, imagine you are the Toastmaster for the next meeting. Tonight, you're going to start right away planning for the next meeting. The way Toastmaster Club is normally organized is that we have our website with all the contact information, and your first job is to find the rules for the next meeting. In some clubs, I know there are automated ways of signing up for a role, but I know people are busy, and sometimes if you don't ask, they won't sign up. This is where you give number 2, the personal touch. I like to give out emails that are one-to-one emails. So I would write, Alberto, I know you're a very experienced Toastmaster. Would you present a speech on how to give an opening? And it's just a one-to-one. Rather than sending an email to the group saying, everyone, I have a meeting. I need some speakers. It's easy to blow off that approach. The personal approach. So same thing in business. If you know the names of your clients, and you talk to them one-on-one, you'll have better success at having the next meeting. Continuing on making personal, I really enjoy playing around with meeting agendas. I like to embellish my agendas with graphics. For example, this one here is a summer theme meeting. So we have the sunshine and we have the beach ball, and in that meeting we actually brought in a picnic basket and a beach ball, and we passed the beach ball around as we went from roll to roll. This one's on time, so there's a clock. And upcoming now is Valentine's Day. So lots of hearts here on the agenda, just to give it that personal touch. Come the day of the meeting. What should you do? You should come to the meeting at least 10 minutes early with your agenda. Greet people as they come in. As you do that, you're marking off the players of your meeting. Be prepared to make some changes. If one of your roles are not filled, for example, if the speaker's not here, then might be prepared to have a longer session of table topics. But the goal is that we will have a successful, fun meeting. Another great thing is to have introductions for your speakers. helps set them up for their speech. And I heard Bill Gates' name mentioned earlier. There's some protocol that you perform as a Toastmaster. So if I were to introduce Bill Gates, I'm going to make sure I'm here waiting for him, shaking his hand before I let him have the stage. And when he's done speaking, I will go back, shake his hand, and then we will continue on the meeting. So we call this Toastmasters protocol, and it's just good manners to show who's in control of the room. So please remember the 3 tips. Watch your time, give it your personal touch, and of course, leave applause as each and every person finishes their role. We like to give applause in Toastmasters because it shows that we care and we're showing encouragement and we're trying to motivate one another to continue on with the role of Toastmaster. So, my question to all of you, who will be the next Toastmaster for the next meeting? Mr. or Madam Toastmaster? And you're supposed to clap. So you leave the applause so people know what to do. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Tony, for his speech, and thanks a lot for coming out here to visit the club. And I'm definitely interested to see who actually is courageous enough to take on the Toastmaster role for the English and the Chinese session for next week. So now we are moving on to the table topic speaker session. So tonight for the English session we have Nowling. Before she comes up, I just want to give everyone, especially our guests, a quick introduction of what is a table topic speaker. So basically, a table topic speaker will prepare approximately 3 to 5 questions, and she will ask a question, and she will actually ask for volunteer, and the volunteer will stand up in their seats. They don't have to come all the way out here because we don't want to waste the time. And the volunteer will actually stand up and respond to the question. And the time allowed for the question is 1 minute. And so basically, guests, are you guys interested in participating, or you guys want to be exempted from this meeting? Usually guests have a choice, but I actually encourage you guys to actually participate.
I'm okay with it.
You okay with it? What about you guys?
I will be exempt.
You want to be exempted? Okay. So basically, the whole point of a table topics master is for you to kind of like practice impromptu speaking, quick thinking, and also trying to structure the speech so it sounds logical.
I actually don't know if I should get involved for the first time or
You should still get involved, but
It's
I think
We won't call you first,
we
okay?
won't call you first. So basically,
Alright, I'll
so I
try.
need to give So the table topic speaker should never call the guest first. She should call some experienced speaker first, and so you can see how it works.
Sure, I'll
And
try,
then
yeah.
usually it's always good if the guest wants to try to always call the guest so they can have a chance to practice and also try to get a feel of the meeting. So
Thanks.
let's welcome Lali.
So next week is Valentine's Day. So in the spirit of Valentine's Day, our table topic this week is themed on Valentine's Day and Valentine's activities. So the questions I'm going to ask is just have some fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. So, just sometimes it's a little sensitive. Okay. So first question. Valentine's Day is kind of controversial with some people. It's a day that often leaves single people feeling sad and lonely, and a couple of people feeling the pressure, right? So what do you think of this day, and should it be celebrated? Is there a volunteer before I call on someone?
Always call people who don't have clothes. Like you haven't seen them speak a lot.
Ben, would you like to answer the question?
Well, I think Valentine's Day is a wonderful day where you can, it's kind of a reminder, if you have a sweetheart, you're married, it's time to say, when we first met, this is, how we know each other. It's a reminder that it's a renewal. It comes every year, so I can buy my wife something. So I think it's very appropriate. I think in most countries they have something. I think in China they have a Bachelor's Day, I understand. That was something similar to that. But for the U.S., Valentine's Day is well used, and business people love it because everybody's buying flowers, candies. But I think personally, my feeling that Valentine's Day is it's time to renew your feelings toward your wife, your sweetheart, or whatever.
Okay, second question. So you're going to be spiteful now. So against all the couples out there, you are going to host a anti-Valentine's Day party. What would you do at this party? What are the games or food, snacks, and who would you invite? Would you like to answer that question?
Sure. Okay.
Oh, sure.
I guess this is my second time coming. I haven't had a chance to introduce myself yet, so I'll just quickly introduce myself. My name is John. I found out about this club through Arthur, who is my coworker. But I'm very glad to be here. So, having delayed that much, I guess if I were to have an anti-Valentine's Day party, it's kind of a good question what activities we'd have, because I can't think of a good idea for sort of activities that anti-celebrate something, but I suppose they would all be group activities rather than one-to-one or lonely activities, and I guess we could eat meals together, and everyone could meet new people. I don't know. I'm sorry. How much time do I have? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I think maybe I'll just give my opinion also about the first question, because I thought it was an interesting question. I think Valentine's Day is an interesting kind of holiday. There are some holidays that were originally founded to celebrate something else that happened, like Christmas, if you're a Christian, celebrates the birth of Christ, or even something like New Year's, you're celebrating the year passing. I would argue that Valentine's Day is kind of an artificial holiday. I don't think it should be necessary for people to celebrate their relationships with their significant others, because I think they should do that on a regular basis anyway. So I suppose if there were someone having an anti-Valentine's Day celebration, it probably would be me. But I'd have to think a bit more about what I'd do for it. So.
So third question. What is your ideal romantic date? What does it involve? And maybe you can tell us what you think the ideal, the most romantic spot in San Francisco is also. I'm going to call on a guest here. Would you like to answer that question?
The most romantic place to go to.
Yes, in San Francisco.
I think the most romantic place that I would pick is the Yerba Buena ice skating rink, because that's actually my first date with my husband, Brian. He brought me there. And it's just something personal. I think it's because he took me there on a first date, and we were initially at Fisherman's Wharf, and then he asked me where I want to go. I'm like, I don't know. Where do you have in mind? You're the one taking me out on a date. And so he was like, well, let's go ice skating. And I was like, oh, okay, and then I would wonder why he wanted to take me ice skating. said, oh, so that I can hold your hand. Because I don't know how to ice skate, so I would have to hold on to him. So I thought that was really, really sweet. And so when we went there, you know, I had trouble putting on my skates, like, because I've only done it once. So he would help me put on my skates, tie my shoelaces really tight, and you know, when I got onto the ice, like he would hold on to my hand really tight, and I would just kind of follow him as he kind of pulled me around. So that was really fun, and it's the most memorable thing, and I would never forget it.
Thank you for reminding me.
So down to the last question. Can you tell us about your worst date and what was so bad about it? Who wants to volunteer?
Okay, the worst date in memory was about a year ago. I was on an online dating site, and someone randomly messaged me and said, hey, you know, I know this is really out of the blue, we've never spoken before, but how about this Friday we just do something and get to know each other there? And I said, okay, I'll go for it. I'm always up for spontaneity and adventure, and you never know what might happen. I show up to the date, and you know, we meet, and I realize immediately he's pretty awkward, but I don't mind. I don't mind shy people at all, so I'm willing to give this a try. And so as we're crossing the bay, and he said, how about we go to Jack London Square? They have a free swing dance lesson, and we can get some dinner out there. I said, that sounds good. When the dinner came, and actually he insisted on choosing the restaurant and complained about the options that were at Jack London Square. And then when the bill came, you know, I was fishing out my money, and I gave it to him, and he said, that'll work, and puts it in his pocket. And then we get to the dance part, and I'm already like, oh, God. I think I want to go home, but, you know, I'm in Oakland. I can't just take the bus. So then we start dancing, and this is a really big group dance. If you've ever been to these public lessons, you know that you're supposed to, this is a way to meet each other. You rotate partners so that you meet some people at this event. And he insisted on staying with me. He, like, someone came over to be my partner. He's like, no, she's my partner. I would not have minded so much if he weren't such a horrible dancer who was 6'4", stepped on my feet all the time, and had no sense of rhythm. Yeah, that was probably the worst thing I can think of. When I went home, and he drove up to my driveway and looked at me expectantly, and I said good night, and that was it.
I see I learned something from Tony's speech today. I have to always shake the hand of the presenter before she's back to her seat. So let's welcome Arthur, the Mandarin Toastmasters. So
下面我们开始中文的叫异性观，意思就是说top master。我们的异性观是 Philip， 大家请欢迎 Philip。
第一，我想问，谁可以说国语？可以看你的手。那么我有几个题目，全部的题目都是跟情人节都有一点关系。所以我第一个题目是，要是你喜欢一个人，你在情人节会怎么表达？所以我找一个人，你叫什么名字
Amy。
Amy 你好。要是你喜欢一个人，有一
算是会这样子有这种的心灵感应吧，我觉得，我的体会。
如果你们两个是陌生人，还没有见过面呢？
我想眼神啊，或者在你聊天的时候，你的动作就会让人家感觉到。你如果不喜欢他，我觉得你根本就不会，不会关心他所跟你聊的，就不会去太在乎他所跟你讲什么，
好，谢谢 Amy。提问的题目是，要是有一个人是你的男朋友还是女朋友，你们认识一段时间，但你觉得这个人，你觉得都没有你觉得你将来都不会跟这个人结婚，你们两个只是做朋友好了。但现在是情人节，你想跟他说，你会怎么跟他说？所以我找一个人说，前面你叫什么名字 ？Melissa。
这是一个很难的问题，因为我觉得我不是一个很浪漫的人，从来没有想过会有这种情形。但是如果说是有这种事情的话，我可以想到的是，就是因为我本身工作也很忙，我想可以把工作的行程安排的满一些，然后就告诉对方说，因为工作忙没有办法见面或者怎么样，就是把这件事情把它放在不是很优先的地位，我想对方慢慢的会明白的。这是我能想到的。
好。我最后的题目是，要是你有一个人你很喜欢，是你的男朋友还是女朋友？你决定要你想跟他结婚，你会你会怎么做？所以我找一个人你叫什么名字？Julia 好，请说好不好？有一个人你很喜欢，你想跟他结婚。
应该跟男生比较适合。以女生的想法来说，我觉得如果说我今天想要跟一个人结婚的话，我可能会给他一些小小的 tips， 希望说他会自己去发现这些事情。那我现在是刚好有个 relationship， 然后跟那个男的还不错。然后其实你刚刚讲的跟我现在的状况蛮像的，因为我是希望说他能够有一些勇气，那就是可能做一些动作啊，然后希望说在这一年可以有一些结果。可是以女方的方面来讲，很难跟男生讲这种话，因为男生常常会觉得你在给他压力，那所以我只能建议说，所有的女生，如果你还没有结婚，然后现在想要希望对方能够做一些动作的时候，我建议就是还是慢慢的等，还是要以就是耐心慢慢的等，因为男生如果你去 push 他的话，结果可能都不是你想要的，所以还是像我现在这样，就是慢慢的等。
谢谢。
So when Philip was asking the last question, I was
tell his or her partner that you want to marry him or her. So it would be more appropriate to ask a guy because usually a guy does the proposal. So when he asked her, I was still like, oh. Yeah. I don't know how many people actually understand Chinese. So let's move on to the speech evaluator. So Ben is actually the evaluator for David's speech. So let's welcome Ben. And you want to come up here?
Oh, okay. Thank you. David, that was a very, very good speech. It's very clear, succinct, and you got to the point of your speech. You know, your transition from the opening to the body was very good. You had a question, and you went to the body of your speech, which was very good because. And then it seems to me you prepared your speech very well. You have beginning, you have the body, and you have conclusions of the speech very well. And you didn't need any notes, so that was very good. So it's good that you can speak, you know, fluently without looking at your notes. I like that very much. One thing I noticed that what I would suggest is more eye contact with the audience. Is that you were looking down sometimes. But overall, I think you did very well, and I think for icebreaker, it was a very good speech.
Thanks, David. Let's now move on to Alberto as the evaluator for Tony's speech.
Thank you very much. Just for the benefit of the club, I want to read the objective of Tony's speech. And he has 5 objectives. Number 1 was to select a speech topic and determine in general and specific purpose. Number 2, organize a speech in a manner that best achieve those purposes. Number 3, ensure the beginning, body, and conclusion reinforce the purpose. Number 4, project sincerity and conviction and control any nerves you may feel. And number 5, strive not to use notes. Selling a proposition or a business plan requires 3 things. Persuasion, get to the point, and inspire the audience. They are simple. In any proposition you try to sell, you need to do those 3 points. Tony's speech went through in 5 to 7 minutes using different adjectives or skills and how the master of ceremony do the job. This I would call Master Ceremony 101. He used the word creativity, planning, organization, time management, and decision. I like that. We sometimes forget about the whole thing because we like to talk and we are out of focus. I like the analogy of Tony Boss because it's a real life example which everyone confronts every day. Also, I like the rules, I call rules, which are time, touch, and leave the applause. And I think any new club and any organization, those 3 points are really important. I call TTL, touch, time, and leave the applause. Especially when you're a master ceremony. Politicians, you see politicians go and shake their hands, you know, it's natural. We are politicians every day. I like also the way how Tony was able to manage the time. It's a lot of pressure whether you're a new audience and a new club and you need to figure out what to do. He was sincere, clear, and I like the agendas. He was able to pass, you know, to see the agendas around, to inspire, don't do the same thing. Change, innovate. there are two aspects which I think probably, he's an expert speaker, and sometimes we forget about details. I would say number one, Tony was here, and he was missing the right point, which I call the blind spot. We have blind spots sometimes, we forgot the people, and we focus in one direction or another, and I think it's good to go to the left. Number two, I would be happy to receive those agenda as example to the audience. It's a treat. It's free, right? And number three, probably I would change the title to call Master Ceremony 101. Because this is a new audience. We are learning. We try to figure out what to do. Overall, Tony's speech, go to the point. Masters, who is the evaluator? Arthur.
感谢博士给我们的评估。下面呢，我们开始转到中文演讲的评估员。我们这次的评估员是明华，他会评估Kathy 的演讲。我们邀请明华上来。
No, evaluation.
对不起，我没注意到明华是。那这样的话，我们会发给你我们手录的你的演讲的影片，然后再给你一些评估，好吗？好。对不起。那这样的话，我们开始我们的总评估员。Let's have Ken.
Yeah. So before Ken comes up, I just want to give all the guests just a brief introduction of what is the responsibilities of a general evaluator. In each meeting, we have a general evaluator for the English session and the Chinese session. And the general evaluator will give a few minutes of the overall evaluation of how we do as a Toastmaster and also the speaker and the general logistics of the meeting. And hopefully we can improve in the next meeting. And also the general evaluator will introduce his team of the team that is working under him for evaluation. And some of the key roles are timer, counter, and grammarian. Unfortunately for tonight, we actually don't have a grammarian and we don't have an counter. I didn't see them in the meeting, so I don't know if they got stuck in traffic and stuff. So let's welcome Ken for the English session.
So tonight, I think our timer, Marshika, you've timed for both sessions, correct? So I'll call you up after I give my brief overall impression of the meeting. It's always great when meetings can start on time and then also end on time. And part of the ending on time, depending how the meeting goes, the Toastmaster can always work with the person who's doing the table topics and kind of give them a signal. We have extra time today, maybe ask a few more questions, or we're short of time, maybe just one or two questions today. So that's a way to add some flexibility to the meeting in case some of the speakers speak too long early in the session. Then of course, it takes everyone's help to make sure that the meeting runs well. This is a very new club, especially for individuals who don't know everybody who's here. I think it can be helpful to have a printed agenda, because then you get the reinforcement of whose name is doing what, etc. It would be great if we could go paperless, and maybe pretty soon we'll all, on our iPhones, we'll just have an electronic agenda, or maybe it can be projected on the board. But perhaps for next week, actually having a printed agenda would be helpful. Other than that, I like the fact that everything was crisply run. People were able to come up and do their roles and involve the guests and new members with the table topics. And with that, I'd like to have the timers report. You can stand there and just run through.
Okay, David's icebreaker speech, 5 minutes, 22 seconds. Kathy's 4 minutes, 24 seconds. 1 minute 31 seconds, and me, I don't know.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
1 minute. It's 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Oh, okay. And then for the Zhongwen, Amy, 1分钟19秒钟，Melissa 50秒钟，and Julia 1分钟15秒钟。Speech evaluator Ben 1 minute 3 seconds, Alberto 3 minutes 43 seconds. Is that supposed to time you? Because I 1 minute 49 seconds.
Okay.
Sorry.
We're good.
Hi. So unfortunately, we don't have Chinese general evaluator for tonight. So this pretty much concludes our meeting. Before I end the meeting, I actually would like to ask some of the guest feedback. So I'm probably going to start with you. Maybe you can just tell us what you think of the meeting. Will you come back again? Have you been to other Toastmaster meetings before?
Stand up?
Yeah, you can stand.
I think this is a very good session. I like the fact that it's not intimidating, especially I feel like I don't know anybody here. I intentionally did a Google looking for Chinese and English, and this one came out. So that's very good. Overall, I think most speakers they maintain eye contact, not a lot of filler words and that kind of thing. So it's good. I'll try to come back next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Thanks a lot. Are you new?
Yes.
Is this your first time?
Yeah, it's my first time. My name is Timo, and actually it was a coincidence. I just found out about this morning, and just signed up on meetup.com because I study Chinese, so I've been to other Mandarin mixers, and I think we met Philip before at one of the meetings. So that was one of the meetup.com recommendations. I was like, why not? Just go ahead and see, what the club is about. And I wanted to actually join a Toastmasters, so I thought this is a good combination for me since it has Mandarin and Toastmasters side of it. So, and I really enjoyed, all the speeches. Probably will be back. It's just a matter of me scheduling it in, but if I can, I really like the environment and I feel like I can learn here. So, yeah, thank you.
Very couple.
So yeah, I've heard about Toastmasters for probably at least a decade, and so I guess I just haven't joined. I haven't done meetings just because I was probably lazy. But I guess of David's, and I'm glad I came. When I first thought of Toastmasters, I thought people would just kind of come up and they just talk and do the evaluation. But I like that the format has different. There's like the session where you did your own table topic and your questions were amazing, and it's kind of cool to see people put on the spot. And so it was just really entertaining. It's kind of cool that people have a chance to make it creative and not just talk and listen about it. So thank you.
Yeah, so I came here because David invited Brian. But I took speech at City College, and it was funny because we had some statistics about what people would rather do instead of public speaking, and some people would actually say that they would die before they would speak in public. And so, but after taking that class, I felt actually very comfortable speaking in public, but I think since then I've sort of kind of went introvert again. And so I think it does need practice, and yeah, I forgot your name, I'm sorry.
Melissa.
Melissa said, it's not intimidating at all, so I'm actually very comfortable, so I might, come back again.
Thanks, all the guests. And one thing I want to
position for the benefit of the audience so we have time. And I think it doesn't happen every day. We ask questions to Tony.
Yeah, sure.
I think that Tony has a lot of experience in Toastmasters. He's not only the speaker, he has been in different roles. It would be really good for the benefit, for all the audience to ask questions like a politician, vote for me or nobody. So, and he can explain a little bit more about the branches of Toastmasters, how, through success and failure, how he had gained benefit from Toastmasters. Are you allowed to do that?
We have the audience wants me to. Thank you, Madam President. Who here knows about Toastmasters? Probably know with this club, right? You know that Toastmasters is a worldwide organization represented in over 106 countries.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there any Toastmasters in China?
Tons. They are exploding in China. You know why? Because they all want to learn English.
Are you talking about in mainland? I'm talking about in mainland, not the Hong Kong or Taiwan.
Yes, there's Toastmaster in every big city in China. All you got to do is go online and search for it, you see everybody.
Correct. When I go to Toastmasters conventions, we do have conventions once a year. It is an international affair, and I get to meet people from all over the world. It's just exciting and a wonderful organization. And we have this one thing in common: we all want to improve ourselves. So it's very easy to break the ice with one another. Does anyone have just any general questions on Toastmasters in general? This is a yes, David.
Well, Tony, thanks for coming. I actually saw you on the Toastmaster TV. We did a great job actually trying to post TV and everybody else. I guess just to understand a little what, after Toastmaster, the chapter level, once you go up to governor or what other activities, opportunities for to develop not just speaking, but leadership and organization skills, and also meeting other people. What kind of opportunities out there that's more than what we're just thinking here?
Correct. Going beyond the club. So let me talk a little bit about the structure of Toastmasters. Right here we have a club. So a group of members make a club. Then we have what we call an area, 4 to 6 clubs making an area. And then we have 5 areas make a division, and we have 8 divisions here in District 4. We have 42 areas. Okay, and then we're District 4. So this is 236 clubs, one of the largest districts in the world. I was district governor 3 years ago, but we were distinguished. And we'll talk about that later. But there are over 80 districts worldwide. So we're part of something pretty big. Now, leadership skills, you're here at the ground floor. We're starting a club here. So we just have a group of people. Not everybody here is a member. You can use your power of persuasion to help sign people up. You did a great job here of doing an icebreaker and showing people and inspiring one another. I can do it. You can do it. Step up. This is a skill we all need. So are you a club officer yet?
No.
Do we need more club officers?
Yes, I actually need a secretary.
Okay, you have one?
Okay, so in a club, there is some management and organization that happens in the background. We don't just get together and it magically happens. Though it seems that way through the magic of the web. We have people in the background creating that website, sending out those meetup invitations like you learned about Toastmasters. And also you knew about Toastmasters before through, I guess, other readings in the web or through friends. And the best thing we can all do as a group, collectively, we really want this to succeed. And I always like to think of a new club as a startup company. Each of you have influence on the character of this club. Every club in the world will have prepared speeches. We'll have a Toastmaster. We'll have table topics. And this club has already started with a very unique format that I haven't seen before. Well, there's jets, of course, but you guys break it up in 2 different sessions. But to have concurrent Toastmasters, I haven't seen that, and I can see that being a very effective format that you have, that you're developing that's going to be unique to this club. So it is, if you're in the world of marketing, you have a unique niche. There's only one club in the South Bay that does this, and there's going to be one club out here in San Francisco. And there's really no reason why we can't have more clubs that do that type of activity because of the population and diversity here in District 4. So I do invite you to definitely become a member of this club. And we're trying to have at least 20 members to be officially recognized by Toastmasters International to be a chartered strength club, ideally even more. So my call to action to all of you is to spread the word and bring one guest to the next meeting. And if you're, and actually, Tiffany, how do we sign up our rules for our next meeting?
Yeah, so right before the end of the meeting, usually before I close out the meeting, I will ask who wants to be the Toastmaster. And whoever volunteers to be the Toastmaster for the English session will take notes for all the roles for the following session. So we use the last 5 minutes of the club to ask. And if we don't have enough volunteers for every single role, then whoever volunteers to be the Toastmaster is his or her responsibilities to email our membership alias to ask for volunteers for the rest of the roles.
That's great. That's the way most clubs do it. So before you leave tonight, make sure you think about what role you'd like to take on. And if you haven't looked up the club's wiki, I was very impressed with the wiki. It's very, very informative on all the roles. But you know, reading it and doing it are two different things. And what's Amy? No, sorry. Angela, you said something that was really powerful. You took a class on public speaking, but you really don't learn public speaking. And you said practice. And that's what Toastmasters, we all go to a gym to work out, well, maybe not me, but this is our mental gym here. It's our chance to practice our impromptu speaking skills. That's a great skill to have if you are in a job interview situation, or if you're an aspiring politician or community leader. You know, here the goal is to become a good speaker in the club, but then take those skills somewhere else in the community where we can all benefit. So we don't become a good Toastmaster, become just a good Toastmaster. Well, I'm extreme. I like Toastmasters, and I made Toastmasters my goal in leadership. But I guess getting back to your question, yeah, there is an opportunity for leadership for you, and it starts here at this club. So even though, and I'm a club secretary, and it's a great role. Why is it a great role? You document the activities of this club. This club is a nonprofit 503c once it's actually chartered, and our mission is educational. So the importance of working out of the manuals. So we do have structure. We come to Toastmasters for structure, and there are 10 different exercises in the very first manual, and the first speech is called the icebreaker, where you get to introduce yourself to everybody here. And just get a feel, what does it feel to be up here? And have everybody look at you, and maybe some people don't smile, but they're learning to overcome, you know, obstacles, because that's real life. When you're at work, not everybody will respond to you. Then you need to figure out on the fly, how can you make things work? Then we also have a lot of supporting roles. All the roles in Toastmasters are just designed to get the member to speak. So leadership in a club, we have an executive committee of all the officers that will get together and strategize. And I would imagine job one is to make sure that this club gets a charter strength and gets started. And how are you doing that right now? By having a meeting every week and making sure that the meetings run well, and surveying your guests to find out how they found out about the club, and continue with that process till we get charter strength. Then we'll give you some more goals. Ken, you're an area governor, right?
No.
Well, we're going to get to next year. There's leadership beyond the club. Alberto here, him and I know each other through district leadership. So there is a structure of an area governor who's in charge of 5 clubs. I shouldn't say in charge. We're here to serve you We have an inverted pyramid. It's the member. That's the most important. We're looking to satisfy the people who join Toastmasters. We're asking you to take money out of your pocket and put yourself here on the line to speak. And we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to speak, work out of manuals, get useful evaluations that will help you grow. And the area governors around, just make sure that we are working out of the manuals, that people are setting goals internally. Also, there's something a little bit different. When you do put money down, you have a responsibility to the club. We have what's called the Toastmasters Promise. So it is a commitment, but I think here it's a commitment for success and having fun. And we're not telling you that you have to be part of every meeting, but when you're here, make yourself available and volunteer for a role. Any questions on Toastmasters?
How do you get, sorry, I want a question. How do you get banned from Toastmasters in your place?
I'm sorry?
In your workplace, how do you know, how do you use your Toastmasters?
How do I use my Toastmaster skills in the workplace? Well, table topics, probably a lot of phone calls, asking questions about certain analysis, or if they're challenging some results, and or maybe they're going to say, well, this result doesn't quite make sense. Why do you think we're getting that type of answer? And I can formulate an answer based on some of the facts that I have. That helps me because I work with salespeople, and salespeople speak for a living. And one of the reasons I did join Toastmasters is they came to the laboratory and we had to show them how to use the laboratory and interpret some of the data. But they don't always get it. And anyway, by taking Toastmasters and practicing table topics, I'm able to respond to them in a quick, witty, fun manner, and I have a good rapport with most of the sales staff. Also, I'm a resource. A lot of engineers, product managers, give presentations at professional conferences. I try really hard to get them to join my club, but if they don't join my club, at least they come to me and say, here, I wrote this. I'm going to present this. What can I do to make it better? And I will give them an evaluation of what they have. An evaluation here in Toastmasters is different from a critique. If you notice that the evaluators came up here and told people what they did good, what was their strong points, and then later on give some suggestions if you were to do speech game, what to try. So it's an encouragement. That's a great work skill to have, because let's say you have a new person in your job, and maybe they're showing up to work 15 minutes late every day, and they don't really think much of it, but they're doing everything else well. And if they were to ask you, am I doing a great job? Focus on all the positives first. And then at the end, suggest, you know, it would help if you can come 15 minutes earlier. Because the department can actually have a meeting ahead of time, find out the status of all our projects, and then we can move forward. So, and then finish up with a positive, saying that your contribution is valuable to the company. So it makes it more accepting than saying, oh, what am I, you know, what can I do to improve myself? And just say, oh, can you come here earlier? Then it's kind of that antagonistic relationship with your boss. So diplomacy, I guess, is what we all learn. I had a question over here.
Oh, actually, I was wondering if I can just add something.
Sure, please.
Encouraging members to say. So in the past meetings, at the end of the meeting, we would ask people to volunteer for roles for the next meeting. And if you're feeling a bit unsure, you're kind of hesitating because you're like, what if somebody else wants to do it, etc. One thing you can also do is we have these forms around now. There's one there and one there. So if there's a role that you're interested in, say in the next week or the next 2 weeks, go ahead and just put your name down and check it off that you are interested in that role. And what we'll try to do is to make sure everyone get a chance to do these different roles so I think we progress together and not just only a few people do all the roles and other people just make watch and don't really get to practice. So you know, if you're feeling a little bit unsure about volunteering, but you know you want to do something that's a certain role you're interested in, just go ahead and after the meeting, feel free to walk over there and just put your name down and check off some boxes on these forms. Thank you.
Just a suggestion. It might be easier to have one form instead of multiple ones, and you don't know what's been checked or not.
Actually, we're basically, you can check multiple boxes. This is not saying you claim that role for next week or in the next few weeks. I just want to get a sense of which roles you'll be interested in on a rolling basis going forward, so that I can arrange them so that people progress together. So definitely check one of the boxes, just so you know, and then I will email you about when it's your turn, or when we want you to encourage you to participate.
And remember, this is Toastmasters. We don't fail here. We have opportunities for improvement here. So this is the place to practice. And if it doesn't go so well, there's always next week. So it's better do it here than do it on the job. Any other questions, or if not, we should maybe try to fill out some roles for next week. What do you think?
Yeah. So just before we close out the meeting, I just want to remind all existing members that we have the Genentech leadership training this Saturday, and a lot of us are going, like, such as I know Arthur's going, Rashika's going, David's going, I'm going, and also Jenny. You guys remember Jenny Kai? She was the one who invited you. Her club, they are also going. So at the end of the meeting, we're thinking of having lunch and stuff. And I just want to encourage everyone, if you are an existing member, you don't have to be a club officer to go to the meeting, because it's also leadership training. And I heard that they actually have a number of great sessions, such as how to do your performance review with your direct report or your boss, stuff like that. So a lot of interesting leadership training that a lot of you maybe can benefit from.
And plus a neat location. It's never been behind the scenes at Genentech. I think we're using their huge meeting facility. This is our first time that they invited us to use that location. I will be there.
Oh, cool. So,
Oh, yeah.
and also it's a very good venue for us to market our club and also get the help we want, and also get a lot of great help, such as Tony and also Alberto, and also we have Elliot last week, and also Anthony Hogan. So it's a good chance for all of us to network with other clubs, and also invite not only experienced speaker but experienced Toastmaster to come and mentor our club as well.
And it's free versus the other trainings.
Yeah.
And Genentech, they're going to be very generous.
And they also gonna serve breakfast and snacks and stuff.
8 o'clock to the building.
Yeah, it's 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And if you guys are interested, go to the d4tm.org website and register.
I have a responsible here. I was in Shanghai last year in October. It was really amazing to see the Toastmaster Club. It's huge. And usually, people squares, there is at least 3 or 4 Toastmasters. You can go there, and they're really amazing because it's really competitive, because everyone wants to speak English, because the whole marketing, and also they want to be leaders, and also there are all the entrepreneurs over there. And it's really amazing how they have different format, because they do things in the weekends. They do camping, and they do a lot of activities in addition to the Toastmaster, which I think is really beneficial. Companies that are really close, but if you ask, they'll able to, a lot of companies there, they're allowed you to get into the Toastmaster without no restriction. They ask you who you are, but you go inside, they don't ask. We think sometimes they are restricted, or you go there and you check it out, the whole place, and no one asks questions. So it's pretty good. So, but if you go to China, you just check the website, knock the door. They usually have sometimes they have food and